Up, I'm live, and the background noise is noisier because the air conditioner is running. Wait, it's March. Why the fuck is that running? Because it's just about warm enough I can get away with it, and my room was warm. All right. Fucking. Nope, not gonna say it. Yeah. Getting only warmer and warmer in the year every year. Just wonderful. Anyway, hopefully it cools off, but again, yeah, but Evil, you don't live in the Northeast. Make me vent that AC unit. But regardless, it's not going to stay on too long, but there'll be a little bit more background noise. Just pretend it's summertime. Then it's normal for it to be running in the background. Yeah, it was warm, wasn't it, Dingle? It was a fairly warm day in the Northeast, generally speaking. I don't know how warm it was across the entirety of the Northeast, but apparently for both Dingle and I, it was on the warmer side. Compressor turned off, so the fan might actually be shutting off, and if it shuts off, I'm turning it off completely. We'll see, though, on that. Anyway, Derail Valley tonight. I've set up for a mission. A haul. Kind of a mission, but it's kind of weird calling it that. Bit of an interesting one. However, I did do some things off stream. I'm gonna wait for the game to finish loading into the main menu before I actually go and show those things, because I don't like tabbing out of things that Windows will immediately be like, this program is not responding. If I dare to do anything else about it. No, it's not responding because it's loading. It's just busy. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Let's see, let me get the pictures up now that I actually care to tab out. Oh, look at that, you actually remembered. How nice. That's one way to phrase it, Dingle. Anyway, crash to desktop is always good. This is the screenshot behind what I was going to show you. This is what happens when you put 5 degrees of tow into a car. In GTA, don't put 5 degrees of tow into a car. It does bad things. I say 5 degrees. It's 5 units. I don't know if it's actually degrees or what. But, yeah, that's a bit undrivable. Yeah, like I said, it's probably not degrees, it's units, whatever that is. But anyway, yeah, remember the bullshit with the S282 tender that I didn't touch? And had nothing to do with, and yet the game's still like, hey, you gotta pay for this. I dealt with it. By cheating. I said I was probably going to do this. Again, it's bullshit. I don't owe that much money because I didn't fucking do anything to deserve it. So I gave myself 20 grand. Apparently this doesn't let you enter money through that little field there. You can only click the buttons. I don't know, maybe it was broken or something, but you can see I added 20,000 compared to the previous shot. And then I actually lost money. But he was cleared. So that problem's dealt with. Call me a cheater if you want. I honestly don't care. It was bullshit in the first place. I shouldn't have had to pay it. I refused to pay it in full. I lost $32 or whatever currency that's really supposed to be. So, whatever. So, I went and bought a thing. Because I was going to need this one way or another. I didn't end up going for Hazmat 2 though, just because it's quite pricey and I didn't explicitly need that. But yeah, bought Hazmat 1. And I mean, that's what I'm going to be hauling, but I'll show you in game. And that's a satisfactory screenshot from Update 4. That button and that. Now we gotta wait for the game to load in. I have disabled that cheat mod, by the way. I only installed it. Not really cheating per se, like that's not the intention, it's a utility. But in the way I used it, it was cheating. So I've removed it. No longer active. Again, it was simply to remove that bullshit from my game. Because it was bullshit, and I shouldn't have had to pay it. So instead of paying $20,032 to clear out all the fees, I instead just paid instead of paying... Yeah, no, I essentially paid $32,000. $32,000? 32. 32 monies. And then I did a job afterwards, so I'm back up to 361. Anyway, I was considering getting Hazmat 2 because of that. However, these 3 plus maybe a couple of others, if I could have, like, where was it? If I could actually afforded the 540 tons. Well, see, Evil, it actually would have cost me $22,000 to pay it off in full, so that was the copay period. That was all that the copay made me pay. So I still saved money in regards to what it was trying to get me to pay, but I wasn't paying it regardless. But yeah, I was considering this. However, again, the amount of money that I would maybe make off of what I could haul up to Machine Factory would cover the Hazmat 2 license, and with how little money I have right now, relatively speaking, I want to be able to buy the DE6 license, no questions asked, and still have a bit of money left over, so yeah, taking that would have been a bit too much. So instead, we're just going to take all these and throw them onto the ground, because I don't care about them at all. And then that leaves us with this. I think this was the right order of it. All of that. Dingle, you're stupid. But we already established that the other night. So yeah, this is what I'm hauling. It's 7 things, one of which is going to Goods Factory, and then the rest is all Food Factory. A couple logistical hauls that I'll have to deal with right at the end. Might not make the time bonus on them. I'll hopefully do it. Honestly, I think I'll be fine time-wise. Because I've got almost 2 hours. But yeah, there's part of the reason why I had to do Hazmat. Because one way or another, I needed Hazmat 1 at minimum. Yeah, don't double-click like that, you idiot. Yeah, this is what I'm hauling. I'm going to pick that up, and then that, 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 and then that. Because, you know, that's not a lot of jobs or anything. I don't actually need that. I've already set it up. We're going to be going out this way, up the long-ass hill, and then going up here. And then around here, through goods factory, dropping off that order that was over there, and then back out past oil well north over to food factory. Not the easiest route, and it certainly gets complex around there and around there. Quite squiggly. But should be fine. You can see the only fines I've got at this point are because of shunting, basically. Not sure what the L39 is. Yeah, I'm not sure which locomotive that is, honestly. Anyway, we are going to... I think that is the final one, yes. We are going to... should go and haul it. By the way, oh. There's the end of the train back there. There's the start of the train over there. So not the longest consist, but it's still better part of a kilometer. And we are 100% going to need both of these running. You're cut in, so if I undo that, you should stop flashing. Good. It's a big train, so I'll unset that. Harbor's flat enough. Someday I'll be back for you. Let's be real, I'll be back here sooner than not. Hopefully have enough room there to get a good run up the hill. Going too fast for it, I guess. This is the first one we have to worry about. Got a comfortable 80 minutes to get up there. No big deal. All the switches have been set already. So, are you good? Yeah, you're good. Right. Trying to avoid using this hand. Can. Yeah, 1.1 is out tomorrow for Satisfactory, however only on the experimental branch, so I won't be touching it. Because mods. Don't get me wrong, I'd like to play with it, but if mods aren't updated, some of my factories break in a really bad way, and I'm getting sub 50 up FPS at the moment. That's fun. DM3, S2A2, DE6, of course there's a DE6 there. I mean, with the update coming evil, it's understandable. Looks like we're going to be getting a decent amount of speed to get up the hill. About as much as you can reasonably get away with. Which is good. I mean, you can see it was approaching 3 degrees there initially. Just dropped below 2 degrees of 2% rather. Sorry. Approaching 3% grade. But now it's back around 1.5. The weight should be fine. with just the two DH4s. It should be fine. Rain is the only real concern, and currently it's not raining. And yeah, it just went back up 2.5%. By this point, most of the train probably is on the hill. Quite a long train, don't forget. It's hard to get you can kind of see the trains there. Yeah, the back end of it's just going up the hill as we're going into the tunnel up in the front. So again, we're going up this way for the first time ever. Because I haven't gone this route yet. And ideally, there probably won't be any jobs from Food Factory. But I'd like to go to Iron Mine and Coal Mine while I'm in the area. Simply to check for the DE6. Because those are the last two places that I haven't been that could have the demo units spawned there. Military base doesn't have anything. It's just those two. And since... Huh. Yeah. E2 is back there. Since I really want to find it, it's, I want to find it. You know, I want to get the DE6 restoration going. Even if it's just bringing it back and potentially fetching the parts, since that's on the cheaper end of the scale. Cheaper, relatively speaking. The replacement parts aren't too bad, it's the actual repairing of the locomotive that's really bad. We are gaining speed up this slope, which is a good sign. It's not very fast, but we're gaining speed, and that's what's important. Also, there's a 4 here, so we can't go too fast anyway. This entire route out of harbor is brutal, but apparently this way is no better. I could have gone that way. I considered going that way, but it was just easier to go this way in some ways. Faster, I'm trying. That's a limiting factor. Is just slow going, but again, as long as I get this all done by the end of the second hour of the stream, time bonus is accounted for, and that's like, oh boy, 160, 170,000 extra monies. Not the most, but it's not nothing either. Oh, and I did already pre-configure that. 830 meters, if I remember correctly. Yep. Like I said, better part of a kilometer. Still see the cars in the background moving. Oh, no, that's the end of the carriage right there. Neat. Also, just to prove this, I disabled that and go into alt mode. You can see there's no little button up here. That's where that button, where the button would be for that little utility menu that I had to clear the fee. Oh. To refund myself clearing the fee. It's not there. Like I said, I disabled it. because I don't have a need for it outside of that one use case, which was a one-time thing. The only problem is I don't really know I can go much above 40 at this point, should I actually get the speed up enough to do that, but the speed is going up currently, so that said, it looks like there's going to be another 40 zone very shortly. So it doesn't matter. There's probably going to be a lot of 40 zones that I go through. Slope on that 1.2% upward grade. Well, as expected, with the two DH4s, it's not super money efficient in terms of just how costly it is to run these things, it seems, but they can get the job done. Yes, we are going right. Gotta keep an eye out and see how slow this is up ahead. A 4 into a 4, okay. Probably actually back off a little bit, save a bit of that fuel. Yeah, maybe not a ton, I'm starting to lose speed. I don't really want to lose speed if I can help it, I just don't want to go too fast. Got all these fancy computer add-on bits. And a buzzer. Can I have a speed limiter computer thing that will automatically control the throttle if it gets above a certain speed? That was a tight curve. Yikes. Just keep track of when it crosses through that point. The back end of the train, that is. Slowly but surely. That way I know when I'm at least past that tighter section and can potentially throttle up more. So I turn on the lights. Though, to be fair, because of those curves, the train doesn't want to go much faster. It's actually, I believe, level through this part of the map. Got about half of the train through that junction. Yeah, probably would be a good idea, Evil. Okay, train is through the tighter area behind. I have no need to throttle up at the moment. I might still do it a little bit just to try and get some extra speed on, but I'm sure, you know, this section's a bit faster, but then as soon as we get here, that's probably going to be like a 3 through there if I had to guess. Maybe a 4, but it's going to start getting real slow up ahead. So I don't need to get too much speed up. Just a little bit to hurry it up. B95I. Again, I've already got that configured. We'll check the switches as we pull in, of course, but should be fine. Fuel still looking good? Yeah. I mean, we're down quarter of a tank, but we're also like over halfway to a place. And hey, look, castle. Goods factory is where we're heading. That's neat. Of course, I'm not looking at all to whether or not there's any derailments in the area. But to be fair, these turns are so fast and such, I wouldn't expect any derailments to be here. Up ahead, maybe. But I gotta spot this speed. Technically, I could just be looking up ahead. It's 3 to the right, 5 to the left? I wasn't actually trying to get that. Yeah, that's a double 5. We are set to the left, and we want to go left. A little bit. Keep forgetting I can turn the light off. Not hurting anything, but it's just not necessary outside the tunnels. Here, should I add a little bit of my night lighting in the tunnel? You go full brightness on it, make it obnoxious. There we go. I knew that would probably be a thing, so not surprising. Of course, the one thing I didn't do before leaving was check the weather. Hopefully fine. Hopefully. This seems like prime derailment territory, if I'm gonna be honest. Also, we're going left? We're going left. Doesn't look like there's any derailments, though. Or to the left. Just so I know when I'm out of the 3. Oh, it might not matter. Really creeps up on you sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about me derailing Evil. I'm talking about potential D6 spawn derailing. And because I don't know where the spawn points are, I have to keep an eye out no matter what. Phoenix spot though. There's the end of the train. Still with us. There's the castle again. Not even sure I knew that was there. I mean, I think I knew there was a castle, because I've seen others post about it, but as to exactly where it was, never been over to this part of the map. Approaching a 3% grade downward rapidly, and it's 3%. Oh, it's you. Like, wait, what's beeping at me? Oh, right. I forgot that you exist. I mean, honestly, with that downhill grade, I don't need to use the engines right now. And really, although the trains... I'm not going to do it, but in theory, I could actually turn off the other locomotive. In fact, right now, I'm going to do that. I've noticed sometimes you gotta move before it'll load things. But like, there's so much downhill at the moment that you just don't really need two locomotives. I'm just good with the one active. There's a smokestack. I want to keep it below 40, or around 40 at most. Well, now I want it down to 30. Five eyes to the left. Left, right, and it's a clear track. Beautiful. Now we just roll. I want to keep an eye on that speed. Make sure it doesn't go too fast through the yard. Yeah, if I start that at the beginning of the siding, I'll know exactly when the back end of the train enters the siding, so I know when I need to stop. I can then unhook it, set a handbrake, and be on my way. Two DE2 spawns over here. Of course, the slower you go, the less effective the dynamic brake gets, but it's maintaining my speed well enough for the moment. I do want to keep an eye on this though, because as soon as it hits 800, I want to be slowing down. Yeah, that should be right. 30's the limit around this curve, so that's fine. I finally learned what the keybind for the horn was. Alright, now we go over back to here. Which one is this? FH77. 32. 77. Hey look, a flag! Thank you, Past Me, for making it easier and not easier to see. Since, you know, you put it there. Alright. Go around the entire length of the train, because, you know, why not? This bit of the brake pipe was getting refilled. And we're underway. Nice. Only 11,000 from that. Not a lot. How much time did that take? 24 minutes? Not terrible. Not much here. And nothing going in the right direction either. So, yay for that, I guess. Switch is set? Yes. Actually, no, I'll put this back there. That makes... Oh no, that's in the wrong order. Okay. Oh, I see. That order. Actually, real quick while I'm here. Yeah, we're good. Into the cabin, please. Oh, this one. Going to C4I. However, the other one is also going to C4I. So I've got 2 drops here at C4I. And that's where we're going next. Oh. Well, whatever. Yeah, I don't remember what the length of that order was. I don't care. We're onto the downhill slope, and I don't want the speed going much above 30 until most of the train gets out of the yard. Just to check, Food Factory will be coming in from the north. So we want north into C4. So left, right. And then 4 is set up there. That's a right, that's a left. We're all good. Alright, air conditioner, enough. keep that speed under control. It should be fine now. Enough of the train has gotten through there. It shouldn't be an issue. We'll keep a little bit of dynamic braking in it. Just because of the upcoming intersection. I don't know what the speed is through it, especially towards the north. Oh, I don't really want to go much above 40 just in case I gotta slam on the brakes real quick. 40, no, 60, right? 60 into what? Yeah. 60 into a 60. We're fine. Towards nighttime, so I guess I'll flick the lights on. It's a little early, but couldn't hurt anything. And the next switch is thrown to the left, which is good because I don't want to go to oil well. I've been there. That's actually where potentially this DH4 is from. Maybe. If not that one, then the other one that I've already abandoned in favor of this one. Taking a peek outside in case I've missed anything. I wouldn't expect a derailment inside of the curve. Unless you, like, derailed there and went up and over. Yeah, it's getting late in the day, isn't it? By the way, am I gonna have a good way to turn around at Food Factory? Uphill grade. No, it does not look like there's a good turnaround point. There is a turntable, but that's annoying, but fine. We got plenty of fuel. If I need to turn the other locomotive back on, I will. We're fine for now. Not that steep of a grade at the moment. Just keeping an eye out for those demo units, of course. Alright, fine. There. I know I'm still overweight in regards to the full locomotive weight. We're not gonna talk about real life. Yeah, it's complaining about hot, but like, it's fine. Actually, you know what I could do? There. You were 6 cars long. Yeah, so it was 108 meters. If I take this and roll it back to, say, 750 just to be safe. Close enough. I was considering going through the manuals and adding it back up, but don't need to be that particular about it. How's the train looking? I don't know, it's kind of all the way back there. Hey, look, there's the, yes, Oil Well North. Only a little bit longer out here. Can we see military base? It's somewhere up that way. The answer is no. No, we can't see it. Not from here. Back behind the ridges. Alright. Please tell me you stay 3. You do. Good. Now it's just a matter of maintaining throttle. Oh dear. Downhill grade, so gotta be on the brakes if anything. Not picking up much speed as of yet. Actually slowing down, if anything. We've actually taken this route before, except it was inverse, going from food factory to goods factory. Line up there as well. What was that sign? 5 going down. Going down with an arrow. I believe the arrow means it's going down at least 2 steps, which means 30. Yeah, sure enough. Disable that because it doesn't matter anymore. Did I miss a sign coming out of the tunnel? I don't think I did. If anything, it's probably over... Well, there's one on the bridge. Oh. Well, it went up and then it's going down again. God damn it. Doesn't really matter if the speed goes up in between if you got train bits in both of the slow zones. Fortunately, dynamic brake is doing exactly what I want it to. That's right, where we need to be as we're coming into food factory. So we're not going to finish unloading everything before the first break of the night. However, we can get the first 2 unloads at food factory done. That's good. That leaves us ample time to get the rest of it dropped off, even with the 2 logistical hauls. Honestly, I'm finding logistical hauls, the more I play this, to just be more and more of a pain in the ass, to the point where I'm not sure I want to deal with them. But for this, it's not a problem. As I get more licenses, I do want to get all the licenses at some point. As I get more, it's just gonna reduce my time bonus. I actually lost a bit of time bonus buying the hazmat license. And I'll lose more if I go for hazmat too. Yep. C4I and C4I. I'm gonna set it down just a little bit. This is where we're gonna be for most of the rest of the night, most likely. Again, I'd like if there was something to take me to Iron Mine or Coal Mine East. I might just end up going over there regardless. Even if I'm not actually hauling anything there. Yeah, and I want to get the DE6 sooner than not. Good enough framing there. You can see the speed and the distance tracker. We are, however, going to be leaving Food Factory very shortly. I won't even have the load into the thing. Fortunately, as I drop these loads off, it's going to get a lot easier to manage this train, simply because, you can believe it, I was having difficulty actually getting signal to the locomotive loading this up at the harbor. Why did you not just go in? Okay, I have to figure out which one's which. But I believe this is... Oh, are they in the wrong order? I mean, it doesn't matter, right? Just like wrong order in my hand is all. That's FH62. Which is these four right here. I know I had a second flag somewhere, so I just want to make sure that I don't miss that. Shouldn't matter, it'll end back up in the Lost and Found at some point. Alright, yeah, it's literally right there. $29,000. $14,000. So that leaves that one to be the next one, which is going to C6, and then the others are going to D. D2, D3, Oh, and then this one's going to A, which is why it's at the very front of the train, despite being the lightest one in the set. Because, yeah. Where even is the sign? Right here? Yeah, so I overshot a little bit. Not surprising, but it doesn't actually matter. Let me actually see. So this is C6, which is where this one wants to go. C6. As I make my way back to the train, we'll have to flip this and that'll be that. Again, need to get back to the train because brakes are applied, the engines are off. But for now, I'm gonna drop a save. Turn the frame limiter down to 5 FPS to reduce GPU load during the break. And then AFK scene. Apparently we're doing Witness AFK scene, which is Evil's favorite. But yeah. Time for a break, like the bot said. And take a few minutes, stand up, stretch, and get away from the computer for a little bit. During this time I am going to run some ads. It's the only time during the stream I run ads. Prevents pre-rolls for next hour, and the ads will be up before I get back to ensure that the gameplay for the next hour will be completely ad-free. When I get back, we will continue unloading this train and then figure out what to do from there. Again, I really want to go to Iron Mine and Coal Mine East to see if the DE6 is there, if I'm going to have to scour the map for it. The other 5 demo units were all in yards, so I wouldn't be surprised if the DE6 ends up being trackside somewhere. But we'll figure out how we're going to handle that at some point. For now, BRB. Alrighty, I am back, and yeah, Evil. Got nice and quiet so you could hear the water, because I know you love that. Anyway, back to the game. Apply VSync so that I can then bump this up to 70. Again, the reason why I use 70 is so that there's a little bit of headroom over 60. Tends to make VRR happier. Which is not G-Sync per se. Because my display is maybe G-Sync compatible? Not very fast moving. Yeah, it's FreeSync. It's technically not G-Sync compatible, but it is. Because I have G-Sync settings and it's all turned on. You can see just how fast it is. Really? That's what that flashed up. Okay. And it hit too steep of a slope. One locomotive is not sufficient. Oh, yeah, that would be why. It's very steep right here. I was hoping to get away with it, but no. Where's the sign? 2.1, huh? Maybe on average. Sounds. 2D2's right here. Not a lot, and yeah, you can see we're very much losing signal strength. Come on, keep rolling. C6I. Honestly, just let it roll. The grade is so steep up there. Not a problem. So 11 cars need to go past. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that first white one after that set of 3 and before that one, there should be a flag on it. Yeah, exactly, Evil. Alright, slow the fuck down. Could be right here. Yeah, you like making those sounds, don't you? Even when it's wholly unnecessary. Okay, we're not into the siding yet. Oh, there's the flag. Yeah, I told you I put a flag on it. we're probably far enough back at this point. FH70. Not FH70. Set the handbrake. And I'm just gonna go throw this into the thing while I'm over here-ish. Yep, 49 minutes. 21.9, so just under 22,000. And then the next one needs to go in D2I, which means going all the way out to that right there. All the way over here. Okay. Pull you back out. That's why it was so bright. It was reversing. Set the train in motion before the brakes fully release, just so that it doesn't start rolling back on this grade. And yeah, it's a lot easier to move now that so much of the weight has been unloaded. Just this, which is 153 tons. That's a flag. 133 tons. And then this, which weighs nothing, 60 tons. I hate how it makes that sound. Okay, so we're going to D2I. We want to go left, 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 into D yard. That is the farm. And right, left, right, left. There, now I don't have to worry about which side I'm entering from. Can't shift it at this point, it's going too fast. Not that I can access the dynamic brakes from here anyway. Don't go too damn fast through the yard, please. D2I. Right ahead. And then the other one is D3S right there, and then I just gotta get to the hay yard. How different is this? Quite different, okay. I only used flags where it wasn't obvious. I actually see the break in the track. It's probably somewhere over there. I think that's it right there. Right around this area by the sounds of it. Oh well. If I just go back here, it'll be fine. And hey, look at the train. Good job. then that's you taken care of. Over there. You can honestly go there. And then you need to go to D3S. So then, or this works. That button. Just get clear of the switch and then back this on to D3S. That's it right there is the junction potentially, because the whatchamacallits change. This into D3I, and then we gotta go find the A yard, which is over the other side. That's gonna be annoying. Yeah, I'm gonna need to do some shoving here, seems like. Nice and gentle. It's a single car. How annoying. I wanna see, can I actually find the gap in the track? Because that is where, yeah, it's right there. That's where the siding begins. Apparently. So as long as the carriage is behind that, it's fine. It doesn't need to be behind the sign. At least for now. Still move it in a little bit just to ensure that it's fully clear of the track over here, of course. Whoops! Minor mistake. Not that big of a deal, honestly. Just unfortunate is all. Alright, now how the hell am I going to get you over to where you need to be? I'm just going to go drop off these other two jobs, because they are done. $38,000. Not bad. And that's 18.8. And yeah, 50 minutes, I've got plenty of time. By the way, what's here? There's all these shunting jobs, obviously, for what's just come in. Oh, hold on. Just heard the sound of a piece of metal falling outside. Don't know why. But none of the motion lights were on, so don't honestly care. Yeah, those don't earn much. Nothing going any direction I want to go, although hello, that's hazmat too, though. Anyway, A1S. A1S is this siding right here. Which is on the wrong side of where my trains are currently. I guess what I can do... Let me shut you off. That's just a waste of fuel? Waste of fuel. Making me look like a fool. So now what I can do here... let me get back up here. And just back this up into this siding a bit. Park this up over here. Pull this forward. Would not play a disabled audio source. Don't know what audio source I've disabled, but okay. Disconnect you. Figure out how the hell to unhook that. And now... I can take you... Wrong thing. Yeah. Make you move you out of the way. Then bring you back this way, hook this up, pull it forward, and then use this to tow it around. That's the plan. That much should have been obvious at this point, I would think, but you never know. Gotta love the remote. See, this is part of why I like to keep the DH4 around, because it's actually quite useful. I could get rid of the slug, honestly. The slug is just dead weight because I'm not actually using this when hauling. But whatever. Brake should hold it for the moment. Well, if there's even any brakes applied, technically. And I have a straight through over there because of the loading bay. That's always open by default. Could actually pair it with this. Just double check this is all unhooked. Yep. Alright. B1S, here we come. So just gotta get past this switch and then we're good. Back up. And it's gonna be put into reverse. What's the matter? There's the siding track right there. There it is. Can't see much. Go figure. Those clunks, I believe, are a good indicator of when you're over the track and into the siding. And so, you can go off of that for whether or not things have cleared it. Cut off, just set the handbrake for now. And we go down this way. Yeah, I didn't set the handbrake, did I? Okay. I know where I am. No, it is right there. There. That again. 15.5, which means that we went from about 361,000 at the beginning of the night to 509,000. Beautiful. And I still want to go there. One of those two, but just nothing that's going that way. Don't get me wrong, that's real nice. However, it's going the wrong way. I think I'm honestly just gonna you know, take the track up to Iron Mine. I'm guessing the best way would actually be to go around that way. Then I can go back down to Coal Mine. Coal Mine will probably have something to harbor, and that'll allow me to take this track back down and eventually. The only problem is I need to leave that way, but my train is facing that way. What a nuisance. Alright, well. Now, do I need to have the train turned around? No, technically not. I could just go in this. Actually, I might just do that to here and then I can proceed forward, honestly. It's gonna be a hell of a lot easier. I really need to get my D2 restored. I can afford to do it now. Right, that's more than fast enough. And again, as always, the loading dock is by default open, so you can just pass through it. How fast are we going? 37 or so. Not that fast. Perfect. Now, of course, by doing this, I'm not going to have any of the fancy doodads that I got back over here. But so be it. Unset handbrake. Yes, I want you to be in control by default. But I'm going to be controlling from back here. It's nice that I can drive the locomotive from here. There we go. Yeah, I need to get the DE2 restored so that not only can I get rid of the fees associated with running this, you know, because this isn't mine, but also so that I can get some gadgets in it. Doodads. Amp limiter would be nice. And just, you know, full throttle it. That was no throttle, but better no than full in the yard, but anyway. So, yeah. We'll just proceed like this to the switch. Right. And then we'll flip this to go this way. Left. I guess left. There. I don't know what's going on here. Unless that's to go into... There, that doesn't have... That does have a single direction in, doesn't it? Well, that's gonna be fun. 3, but increasing. It's also 1.5% grade or whatever. What exactly is it? I don't know. I'm in the wrong train for that. It is nice and quiet, though. Hey, kiosk. Ah, I see. Isn't it a wonderful mix? Alright, mind the speed. Be mindful of these 30s through here. Although now I'm losing too much speed. Re-hit the switch. It's fine. Quite the aggressive slope. Left or right? I mean, I'm going right up ahead. Don't give me no context and you'll get that as an answer, yeah. I'm just bouncing back and forth on the throttle, just trying to get it to stay around 30. The answer is up. Uh-huh. Again, I still have no context, so fuck if I know what the right answer is. Slight uphill grade to go that way, but we're not going that way right now. Oh good, it's a downhill grade. By the way, how are we on fuel? Oh, plenty. go. Gave you a fish. That's a better outcome, though? Okay. You're welcome, I guess? Not that I really did anything. We're taking this route, and of course taking it at night time so I can't see anything outside. It is starting to get light out though. Oh, how picturesque. And tunnel. What's the speed through here? Is it up to 40 yet? No, it's just really effing steep. Okay. Not as steep anymore. You use me as a coin flip, except, again, I literally didn't do anything other than just tell you which direction I was heading at the next junction. 0.9%. I'll believe it when I see it on there. This does seem like it could be a spot where a D6 would spawn derailed, except, well, maybe not going this direction. Jesus, this is steep. Yeah, I don't think we have any issue with exceeding that. Okay, well now it's going back downhill, apparently. Yes, hello to you too. We were going left, we want left. Eight to the left, 3 to the right. Well, we're going left, so that's fine by me. Never been up in this corner of the map before, so I really have no idea what I'm doing or where I'm going. I mean, I know where I'm going. I'm taking this line up to here, and then I'm going to go down this way. What is the layout of Iron Mine East? It's a loop. Cool. Cleanup crew needs to come through here and take care of that tree, because, like, yeah, it's fine, but only just. Could you imagine if the D6 was down there? Yikes. Not sure I'd want to recover it at that point. Alright, Coal Mine East is also a loop. and then I can go whichever direction I want there. Although it doesn't look like you can actually go that way. It looks like it's a Y and not a T. Also, what's the speed limit here? I don't know. Also, I just remembered this. Is that 50? Could be. It is. Yeah, it kinda did, didn't it? We're gonna need fuel at some point. Coal mine, I guess. If need be, I can always just use that one instead. So I'm gonna drop the throttle down, cause... Oh, hey! How you doing? We were over there before. Now we're up here. And while I was distracted, the speed dropped off a lot. Was this going downhill or leveling out? It looked like it was changing. Oh. Scenic. I could, of course, open this window and get slightly better, clearer views. But that's noisy. Oh, okay. It's going up to 3 again. No wonder I'm so low on fuel, relatively speaking. Okay, now I don't know what the grade will be, but it should straighten out a bit, at the very least. Still uphill, though. I don't see a D6 down there. Crying out loud. I don't want to use too much throttle because I'm trying to save some fuel. But the grade on this section is ridiculous. I would not want to haul a load up here that's particularly heavy. Not with one DH4 at the very least. 2 DH4s would still probably be a struggle depending on the exact weight. I mean, not gonna lie, it is kind of cool being able to, you know, look out and see the track that I had previously been on. Going down there. But that's finally the last of it. Finally entering a new area, if you will. This little bit here. I'd probably be better off if I just ditched the slug, like I said. Don't need both of them running, so just switch over to the other one, save a bit of fuel. Yeah, the fact that this is just completely uphill. Like, that down there... God, where even is that? That's down towards Steel Mill in the, like, I believe. Steel Well Farm, rather? Oil Well Central. Yeah, it's fine, it won't overheat completely. We are way up into the mountains at this point. Crazy. Going left at the next 2 junctions. Although if I was to go right, I could go back down over top of the goods factory. Five and an uphill, great, really. I do have to wonder, will the overheat protection kick in if it detects overheating on the other train, or only this one? Obviously this one's not running. I'm getting alert that it's overheating, but I don't really want to push it, because there's just no need. What was the speed on that sign? X. Seven on a 2% grade, yeah. 2%, huh? 2%, huh? 2% my ass. Oh, now it goes down a bit. Yeah, it's most likely an average over the section rather than an instantaneous reading of what the max is. Although it'd be nice if for a section it told you what the maximum was. Even if it told you maximum and average or something like that. By the way, how are you doing on fuel? Enough. I would suspect that the fuel light would come on if it gets low in the other train as well. Alright, next switch coming up soon. Thank you. As I said, coming up soon. Six either way, actually 7 to the left once you're through the switch. Although it's once again uphill. I think that's where we're heading, and I can already see the green light. Well, a green light. Is it the green light? I don't know. I'm not seeing a derailed train anywhere. There is a train in the yard up ahead. That's nice, I guess. Yeah, we want to go left up ahead. Not right. Interesting terrain in this part of the map. That would be a DH4. Just go right, go through the B yard. The DH4. Bot says it's time for a break as well. Convenient that we just got here. Yoink. I don't see a rusty D6 anywhere thus far. I am on the through track, right? Yeah. I don't like how fast I'm going. Any sign of a train? Train? Anywhere? I don't know if it would even load in at that distance. Yeah, I'm not seeing it here. Unless it's like down in the pit down there. Doesn't look like it. That leaves one town left. Hold on. C yard. That's straight through. Okay. I'm going to save the game here. And not exit to main menu. Set my frame rate down. Yeah, I can immediately hear my fans ramp down within a couple seconds of doing that. And hey, good news for Evil if he's even still here. Pokemon this time. Yeah, as the bot said, it's time for another break. Just gonna take a few minutes to stand up, stretch, and get away from the computer for a little bit. During this time, I am gonna run some ads. It's the only time during the stream that I run ads. Prevents pre-rolls for next hour. Blah 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 blah. You know the drill. Ads will be done by the time I get back. Gameplay ad-free. Break, not so much. That's the trade-off here. When I get back, we'll head down to Coal Mine East and then probably start setting up for a trip down to somewhere. Probably Harbor. And if I can find the DE6, we'll definitely be taking that with us. Because then I can take it to City West and get that started. Anyway, hear me? Alrighty, I am back, and let's just jump right back into it. Apply. $70. How are you doing on fuel still? Over half a tank, just. I guess what I could do is, while I'm here, I'm not going to pick up anything, but just see what they have. Steel mill. Yeah. Makes sense. I left the license laying on the table there and I never even showed it. To be fair, I showed you in screenshot form that I'd gotten the license, and obviously through hauling that one job, that just proved that I actually had it. Well, so long, Iron Mine East. Thank you for nothing. Yep, as expected, there was a little bit of an incline there. Well, incline, but a little bit of a tight curve, rather. An incline here, though. Yeah, this really is just a Y and not a T. 1.1% grade downward, supposedly. The 4 downhill. Just wanted to be sure that I didn't go over speeding into this in case it was a 3 instead of a 4. Because that would be bad. Interesting terrain. Let's level through here and the speed increases, but we're not going to be on the tracks for too long. B is a dead end, and that's also a dead end, so definitely want to just stick to the right, and then C Right, left. Right, left. Yeah. I don't expect the D6 to be down there, but just looking. Yeah, we're picking up speed, obviously. That's an 8 through here, so we're fine. No sign of it dropping substantially quite yet. Although, I get a bit of dynamic brake in it just to keep it from going too fast. I think 60 is a reasonable enough speed considering I don't know this area, and I'm slowing down. Because that's dropping down to a 5 minimum. Nice coal mine. Oh boy, that would be one hell of a drop for a train. Gonna get an option of where we go up ahead, I guess. Yeah, that's the problem. You go way up into the mountains, and you're gonna have to go back down at some point, right? Yep, another Y junction. Nope, we're good where we are. Bring the speed down coming into the yard. I mean, I see a train over there, but that doesn't look like a D6 to me. Yeah, that very much looks like an S282. It's not gonna be here, is it? So not gonna be here. It's gonna be off the side of a track somewhere. I know what I'm trying to do here. West, are we going 35? Might be alright. Heard the switch setter. Yeah, there's nothing here. There is nothing here. I mean, there's this thing, but that's a regular locomotive. Not a demo unit. That's annoying. Why is it that every single demo unit that I want... Well, no. Why is it that every single demo unit, but the one that I want most, is in the yards, and then the one remaining one is who knows where. Oh, and it started raining, too. That explains why it got darker. That is extremely frustrating. Yeah, I know. Just said it. What I'm probably going to end up doing is pulling forward and then pulling to here so I can service the trains, but I'm going to go over to the station, which was where again? Where was it? Looking for a light. I ain't seeing no light. Because it's hidden behind the tower. Words are hard. My stuff is here. By the way, there's the hazmat license. That over there, there's the amp limiter that I have for the truck. For the DE2/DE6. Full power. Goods factory doesn't do anything, it's logistical haul anyway. Pick up the steel mill. I mean, that is probably worth it just because, like, decent pay versus not too much. It's a bit annoying to do, though. Going to steel mill. That's going to coal power. How hard would it be to get to coal power from here? I mean, it ain't straightforward, is it? Ugh. I don't like the look of that. I honestly don't know what to do. To get to steel mill, I'd have to go back up to there and then presumably go back around here. Because that's a Y, not a T. And that's a long-ass route to get to that point as well. And I don't know, either you can go down this way, we can take this route and come back up and around. Probably better just do the loop, because it's mostly downhill. Do I want to do this? I probably should just do it. Though, with this weather... It's gonna be raining for a while. I don't know what to do now. The rain makes doing anything difficult. The jobs from here are not great, in my opinion. Because, like, yeah, I could go to coal power, but that's gonna be annoying to do. And what I should probably just do, load this up. But then these two are probably what I would take, because I'm gonna be overweight if I try and do all three of these. 560, 560, and 240 with just two DH4s? Even if a lot of it is downhill initially, it's not going to be downhill the entire time. Also, I'm getting the screen flickering because of VRR, which is great. I don't know why it's happening. It shouldn't be. I tab out, it's fine. Tab back in, it's not. Oh. I don't know. Coal power is probably my best bet. And what I could do is, you know, go up and around through Food Factory, up there. That's why I can't take all three. I'm better off just taking these two, but I can load that up for an extra 22 grand. Go down through Oil Refinery, which probably won't have any jobs for coal power, nor will Food Factory. But what's there is the DM3. Buy the license for the DM3, pick it up, bring it with me to coal power, and then I can return down to City West with it, because inevitably I'm going to go here and something will want to go to Harbor from there. That's an idea. Copay to 64,000? Jesus. Yeah, so I have most of these licenses, except for the S060, the DM3, and down here, the S282 and the D6. Military isn't the most expensive thing to get into, and technically if I did one of these, I could probably just get into the military base right away, right? Does that have any limitations in regards to entering with a lesser license? Like, do you need military 3 to go to mil base? Which obviously I'm not going to do. Can't afford it. I'm not going to go there, it's not worth my time at the moment. Not going back up the hill any further than need be. Although I might have to go up to there regardless. Can actually read that one. Yeah, I'm kind of at a loss as to what to do. And I should probably just do this. It's just going to be a pain in the ass is all. I can grab whatever is here, maybe, if it's not a pain in the ass to pick up. Let me look. Presumably these are 2. And then you're the 2, 3? 3. And that leaves the other 2 in B5S. And I immediately don't care anymore. Really? I mean, I can still do it easily. I just... No, because it's at the back end of it. This yard is obnoxious. Remember, this is the end of the yard. That is in an obnoxious spot. I need to summon the shunter, I think, in order to get that out. The B2. I just don't think that's worth my time. There's another coal power as well. This isn't a ton of money, honestly. Nice. B20 and B30 are right next to each other. And they're both getting dropped off at the same sighting. So yeah, I think this is my best bet. Not gonna happen tonight, obviously, but I can at least set up for it. Well, let's get my trains refueled. Ah. Oh. Repair and refuel the trains. Grab these 2 jobs. Doesn't really matter in what order, because they're all the same things, and they're all going to the same destination. So if anything, it'd probably be easier to pick this up first, just because it's less weight to move initially. And then call it a night there, because... well, I don't really have anything else to do tonight. In theory, I could just do the loading with the DE2, but I'm probably just going to keep the... Let's just go. Gotta flip the bloody switch before you can go the other direction. Right. Okay, now we're going the right direction. It's kind of funny, I get here, end up disappointed because there's no train, and of course it starts raining right at the same time. Almost symbolic. Just, yep, disappointed. One train I want is somewhere off of the tracks and not in a yard somewhere. Or I missed it. Which is entirely possible. But the only place I haven't really been, if I remember correctly, have I been to Forest Central? Not actually sure if I've been to Forest Central. I haven't really been to coal power, so maybe there are a couple of spots I haven't checked. But let's get this moved back so that I can actually plug in the fuel. Turn those off, even if it is still raining. L10, that's the DE2. Not too bad so far. Yeah, that didn't change too much. A lot of diesel. Most expensive part of it, after all. And with that, it's gonna cost 24 grand. Not nothing, but I mean, could be worse. Do you have a switch where I can toggle you off? There's sometimes where I just really wish it wouldn't intervene at all. Everything is off. Gotta clear this switch. Not on the train anymore. Let me just double check, make sure that's paired. What a pain in the ass. So you were in B20 and the other one is in B30. I want to make sure I get my speed under control before I'm going too fast into the siding. You know, it's kind of raining after all. Yep, that's 70. Come on. Handbrake. Of course. The short consist, at least. Probably just keep the remote control out for a while, regardless of what I'm doing. I don't need to have something else out, simply so that I can recharge. Because it is kind of getting low on battery. Not really, but like, it's not full, is my point. I want to recharge it before it gets to be night time. Shouldn't need it that much, but still. There's no harm in having it fully charged, unlike in reality. B20, now we want to go through B30. Yes, I know it requires a license. I could go buy it right now. I'm not going to, but I could. Steam is honestly something that I just don't really want to mess with too much. I will drive the demo unit eventually, but only a little bit. I don't want to like do any proper hauls with it. Or the 060. Either of the steam trains. It just... I'd rather stick with the DE6 once I get it, you know? It connected. Oh. I'm gonna say, like, what the hell? Red is not the most visible color, is it? Oh well. I know it's connected, but it just bothers me how not connected it is. I kind of ended up in a similar position, so I don't care. Okay, so that is going to be Just over 230 meters. Let's just set it to 240 to be safe. The route I'd be taking is, stay right there, left, right, that's a Y, so it doesn't matter, right, through food factory, left, through oil refinery, right, right, and then into coal power. And so, because of that, I need to have a look at food factory. Oh, this is not safe. C yard is not safe to traverse through. No. B should be. As is D. We'll go through B, because that should be less of a detour. Left, left, right, right. We'll be coming in from the north. But here, I'll just set the switches so that they're correct regardless. Greens indeed. An oil refinery should just be fine as it is. Might stop by here briefly because I believe that's where the DM3 is. I should honestly have another look through there just in case that's where the DE6 is, rather. Yeah, there is a turnaround loop here. Not that I'll be using it. And then into coal power, which these want to go to B5I. Be coming up here, flip this. B is there, so pick right, left, right, left, left, right, into B. And then double right into 5I. Then comes up this way. Doesn't matter. That should be everything in theory. I'd actually replace the RCF. So why do you want me to test it then? Because you know I'm not going to race it. You know I don't care to drive that. I think everything should be set to go. Just need to do these, which will be for another day. Might drive nicer than the AMG. Yes, and your point? You could make the Pork drive nicer than the AMG. It's not going to happen, of course, but you could. I still wouldn't drive it. And the flashing light is simply because of this. If I do that, it goes away. Max, I'm stubborn. You should know this by now. You know, I could install this. Or even one of these, because 0, 1 actually have a visual indication of whether or not it's on. Although, I guess that's what the green light might be for? I don't know. So I can disable the anti-slip computer as I wish. What was that other job? Did I throw it out? That ain't it. Don't have any active orders, I know that. There's these two. That's what I've got hooked up, but then there was this and there was another one that was like 22,000. Did I seriously throw it out? That's hilarious. I wasn't going to take it regardless. Because again, this is about the limit of what I can do. And I mean, these are both going to the same yard, so... eh. What yards have I really explored? IME, CME, GF, OWN, FF, IMW, MF, CW, OWC, FM, SM. CMS, I think. CS, HB. The ones I'm uncertain of, thus, are Forest South, Sawmill, Forest Central, Coal Power, and Oil Refinery. I've been through there, but it doesn't mean that I've looked through it perfectly. So there are still areas to check with the DE6, but it's looking more and more likely like it's just off a track somewhere. If this gets any more ridiculous, I might just have to use that one GitHub map, interactive map. Not in exact spawn location mode, but like it has a hint mode, so you know the general area to look for them, which is how I know that there's none at the military base. I mean, logically speaking, there's none at the military base because it's locked behind a license. Honestly, for how annoying this trip is, this is not making a lot of money. That's not a ton. You know? It's still what, gonna be like 90,000, a little over? But it's a lot of weight through an obnoxious route. Could be worth more, in my opinion. Oh well. It's time to wrap up for the night. It's a little early, but I've just been delaying the inevitable, essentially. So yeah, that's it for tonight. Stream on Monday. Monday? That's today. Stream on Wednesday is going to probably be more of the Pokemon multi-world... No, not multi-world. Solo Archipelago full item rando thing. Multi-game Solo Archipelago that I'm doing using Red and Emerald. Would have rather Crystal, but Red was easier to set up. Because I didn't do that last week because of the affiliate anniversary. 5 bloody years. Holy shit. Where has the time gone? No, really. I want my time back. Give it back, please. These last 5 years. Anyway. So yeah, that's Wednesday, most likely. The Pokemon stuff picking back up. I've obviously got a lot more to do. I've got an Emerald, catch 'em all. I've got the Catch Across the Gens challenge that I've got to do, and I've still got the damn PLA POC, the Professor Oak challenge in Legends. that I want to wrap up by the time that the next Legends game comes out in November. Again, I've got quite a while. Because I'll have to either November 14th and November 21st, depending on how they go about it. Probably the 21st, I would guess. Obviously, I'm just making assumptions here. But, like, it's releasing late 2025. So, November, like, a week before Black Friday. Got it. You know that's probably when it's going to be released. As usual. Anyway, yeah, Pokemon Wednesday. FNR will be returning on Friday. We'll probably be doing something involving GT3s because why wouldn't we fucking just not do a GT3s? I don't know, Max, are we? No GT3s? Woo! F3s though? Gee, I wonder where we're doing them. What I was hoping for, honestly. So, that's good to hear, genuinely. Hopefully I can still pull off the success I had the last time we did them, just without the spinning. But I don't know. We'll see. I look forward to that, and then more GTA on Saturday night. I could run the schedule command, but I mean it. Blame EJ, yeah. Anyway, that's the streams for the week. I'm gonna wrap it up here now. Because again, I'm more or less just stalling at this point. Hope y'all enjoyed my suffering not being able to find the D6. Actually, let me just look real quick at that interactive site. I'm not gonna show it on stream, but I wanna see. Where is it? There it is. Interactive web map. Rid of all of that, and then demonstrator spawns hints. So, of all the places I went past tonight, there was only one spot off of the track, as well as, you know, the cities. Well, just looking at this, there's... Is this right? This doesn't feel right. There's only 2 spots where demonstrators spawn outside of the cities? And the industry spots? Is that really correct? Because if so, then, like, how have I not found the damn thing yet? I should have found it. Oh god, that means it is at one of the places I've been already, isn't it? Unless I haven't been to Forest Central. I genuinely, like... I've been to Forest South. I don't think I've been to Forest Central, have I? I've not been to Coal Power, but you drive right past it. I've been through the oil refinery, but I didn't check it thoroughly. Sawmill I went to once early on, and that was it. In Forest South, it was nighttime, but I doubt that would make a difference. But I at least know it's not at Iron Mine or Coal Mine East. We checked both of those pretty thoroughly. Not there. Hmm. That's interesting. That is very interesting. And as a reminder, where we have found the spawns thus far, there were 2 at Harbor, S282 and the DH4 that I actively use. Coal Mine South had the DE2. The SO60 was at Iron Mine West. And then DM3, if I'm remembering correctly, was at Oil Refinery. D6? I don't fucking know. That's what I want to find. Alright, for real this time. I'm ending the stream. You want to watch some ads? Stick around. If you're a sub, stick around because you shouldn't see ads. Same thing for Twitch Turbo subs. Or, just leave regardless. It doesn't really matter. I don't make a ton of money off of ads anyway. Every little bit helps, though. So, do as you wish. But unless you're not a sub or Twitch Turbo user, you shouldn't see ads. Yeah, next stream Wednesday, as I already said. So, shut up, bot. That's gonna do it for me tonight. Thank you everyone for watching, and hopefully, I'll see you next time. Later.